Hi everybody. You're going to hear my dog go crazy in a minute because of course the minute I go live there's kids in our backyard. Give you a second to hop on and my dog will get his barking out. Come here, Elvis. He's a little rescue and we got him a year ago. He's the barkingest dog. Is that a word? He's the most barking dog we've ever had. And which is good. He's a good watchdog. But anyway, hi everybody. Hey Becca. So, hi. I'm so honored to be hopping on here. My name is Trinity. I'm a national executive as of August. Yeah, August. And we've maintained that. So we are super excited about Color Street on our team and everything that's happening. And so I just want to tell you a really quick story about how I met Becca. So flashback to convention 2018, was it 18 or was it 19? When we were in Orlando. I had just promoted to executive a few months before, and the executives and above were invited to a champagne toast. And I knew no one. So can you imagine walking into a room with, you see Tracy Rogers and you see CJ Summers, you see all these rock stars. And as I was getting off the elevator, I was so nervous. I mean, I almost didn't even want to go because I felt like the new girl in school. And I saw Becca waiting at the elevators. And I asked, could I walk with her? She was so kind to me. And in that moment, I just felt so loved. And she walked with me, let me hang out with her. We even took pictures. And then when I noticed some people from my upline come in, we parted. And it wasn't until this March when we were on the senior executive home office tour, and I was like, is this picture you? Is this you? And she's like, yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, our paths were meant to cross. So you never know when you're kind to somebody who you're being kind to. And so I want to be like Becca. I want to be kind like her. So I'm so honored to be here. And pat yourself on the back, guys. $390,000 in one day. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You guys should be training me. I am just blown away by your success. So tonight I'm going to share a little bit about my 5 very best enrollment tips and how these tips have slowly helped me get to national executive. I've not had any placements. Unfortunately, my upline's not able to, help in that area. So I've always known that if I'm going to grow, it's got to be because of my own enrollment. And so I take that very seriously. So the first thing I'm going to do is tell you a little story. I want you to imagine that you're sitting on your couch and you hear a knock on the door. It's a pirate. A pirate's knocking on your door. How cool is that? You answer the door and the pirate tells you, hey, I've just buried a treasure chest in your backyard full of jewelry, cash, gold, everything you need to take care of you for the rest of your life. And here's the kick though. It's hidden under one of 10 X's. But it's in your backyard and here's a shovel. But you've got to find it. You've got to find the treasure. So you go out into the backyard and you're super excited and you start digging away. You dig into the first X, no treasure. The second, the third, no treasure. Now tell me something. Do you stop at the third X? Do you go back inside and say, I'm not looking for the rest of the treasure? It's too hard. It's taking too long. Of course not. You know that in your backyard, you've got treasure. So you're going to keep digging all night until you hit that X that has the buried treasure. Well, friends, that's what recruiting is. Typically, you're going to have 1 out of every 10 people you speak to say yes. That's your buried treasure. Do you give up after the first no, the first X, the second, the third? No. If anything, after the 4th or the 5th no, you should feel excited that, hey, I'm getting closer to a yes. It's got to be coming right up. And so if you can kind of keep that visual in your mind about recruiting, it's not that difficult. So 1 out of every 10, generally, not always, don't quote me on that, is what you'll find with recruiting. So I'm going to be sharing tonight from my favorite book ever, Get Over Your Bleep Self. There's kids in the room. I don't want to say the cuss word part. This is honestly, I read books all the time. I love mindset books. This one is the one I go back to time and time again. It's tattered, it's torn. Romy Newstald is the author of this book. Get over your damn self. Get this book. It's amazing. So, Romy's number one tip, guys, lead with the business. Lead with the business. The minute someone asks me for the price, how much are they? I'm going to offer them the best value. And the best value is 25% rebate as a stylist. Now, if you're at Macy's and you're checking out and say you're a millionaire, I don't care how rich you are. If that checkout lady says, hey, I've got a coupon for 25% off, who in the heck turns that down? Nobody. Women love the best deal. And so when you're offering the business, you're not just offering them, the possibility of all the great things that come with Color Street. You're offering them the best discount, the best deal. So always lead with the business. One thing that's pretty evident in Romy's book, say you lead with the product first and then they don't like the nails. You can never have offered the business. If they don't like the product, they're definitely not going to like the business. Start with the business, default to the product. It's much easier to bring up than we think. And the minute pricing comes into play, that's when you let them know, hey, Jessica, the best price for these nails is to join the business. You get a 25% weekly rebate, you get your private website, and you get first dibs when releases happen, when the bundles happen. It's honestly the best deal for my best customers. Lead with the business. Number 2, look for clues on Facebook. Facebook is like an online diary, right? We tell everything. We probably overshare. Look for people who are asking for money. They're asking for jobs. They're asking for, what's the best price? How do I, they're dropping these clues. I'll give you an example. One of the girls I signed a couple of years ago, she was a young college graduate. She moved back home during that summer, and she'd posted on Facebook that she was looking for babysitting jobs or dog walking jobs. And I messaged her and I said, Whitney, you need to sell these nails. This is so much safer than you walking dogs at night. This is so much easier than babysitting. You do it from a phone you're already on. You're already kind of like an influencer on your social media channels. Let's just add the nails to it. And so look for those clues. When someone puts something on Facebook like, pray for me, I just lost my job, we're going through a hard time, I will private message them and I'll say, hey, Becky, I just saw your message or your post on Facebook. My heart goes out to you. I am praying for you. If there's anything I can do, in the meantime, I would love to share what Color Street has done for me. And if it's something that you think could work for you, let's talk. I'm really praying for you during this time, but I really feel led to share Color Street with you. And that's all you have to say. It doesn't have to be weird. It doesn't have to be creepy. They're putting it out there. So look for those clues to respond. You never know what you could be doing for someone. My friend Whitney, who joined, she is so thankful for Color Street. Color Street saved her from waitressing. Color Street saved her from having to get a second job. Color Street is that bridge that gaps her between paychecks. So you're sharing a blessing. Don't ever feel weird about it. Okay, so number 3. You know this one, right? Parties, guys. We have to party. And I know you guys are rock stars that are on this page, so I know you understand parties. But sometimes some of our teammates, they don't want to do parties. I was one of those people. It took me forever to get the courage to have parties. And then it took me forever to learn how to properly get my hostess prepped. It was a long ordeal. It took me 6 months probably to get really where I felt comfortable having parties. But I knew if I was ever going to maximize the comp plan, if I was ever going to recruit a solid team, parties are where it's at. Parties open up your network. They open up your friends' network. They bring people to you would never know. And I know, speaking from myself, between 50 to 70% of my stylists, my personally enrolled, come from parties. It's like riding a bike. It's not easy, and in fact, in the beginning, it's downright painful, but you will get better at it. So just keep learning, and one size doesn't fit all. Take different aspects from other people having successful parties and make it into your own. That's my best advice on parties. Number 4, this is important, and this is something, it's so simple, but I wasn't doing it for a long time. Always offer the opportunity before you close a party out. The first thing I do is when I'm talking to my hostess, I will let her know, wow, you had some great interaction, even if the party doesn't hit a certain amount. If she's got 10 or 15 people and they're commenting and they're saying stuff, they're interested. It doesn't always have to be a high dollar party. And I'll say to her, you had some really great engaged guests. What would you think you would like best, the product or the business? And which can I share with you first? Now, I always offer my hostess the party, the business first. If she declines, I say, oh, no problem. I'm always here when you change your mind, because I know you're going to change your mind, but I'm going to also offer it to your guest. And so then I put up a post before I close the party, and I let them know with the IDS, the income disclosure statement, how my first check was X amount and how this is the average amount now. That gets people asking questions. You should share income in the proper context, always with the IDS, but wow, that's powerful, especially because we know it's accurate. That gets people asking. So I also never close a party without piggybacking off another guest for the next party. So when someone has a party before I close it, I make sure that I'm taking the name of the people who are commenting, I'm writing them down, and I'm offering them the next party. Here's a cool way to do that. I'll do a contest, something easy like sweet tea or unsweetened tea. Oh my gosh, if you live in the South, that's like asking someone to choose a favorite child. That gets people, nothing to do with the nails, but it gets them talking. 1 second. And so I will pick a winner, just a random winner. I'll put some names in a wheel, and I'll say, okay, Lisa, you won. I'll DM her, what's your address? I'm going to send you a little gift, and if you want to be, Becky's next party hostess, I'm going to put a full set of nails in here with you. What date would work? So you reward them with a prize, and then as you're getting their information for their address to mail them the prize, and then it could be a Tuesday, it could be, it doesn't have to be anything expensive. Get that address and say, hey, I will pop in a full set of these nails if you will book a party with me. Your friend gets credit if it hits, a certain amount. It's good for everyone. So try a couple of different giveaways, and as you're getting their information privately, that's where you hit them up for the party. If you ask for a party host at the end of a party, you're going to get crickets. No one's going to, it's like volunteering at school to answer the math question. Like, no one's going to do that. So take it to the private message. I usually get 2 to 3 parties this way. I piggyback off the parties, and that's how I'm always having parties. Number 5, stay in touch. No does not mean never. I hate to think how many people are on my team that told me no. Like, I have an executive director that told me no for 6 months. How did I keep bringing it up without being a stalker? I told her, Christy, it's okay. I understand. I was a little skeptical to it first. So what I'm going to do, we all know life changes. So is it okay if in 8 weeks I message you back and see what's going on? See if maybe you've changed your mind. Most of the time, they're going to not mind you following up. The first thing you do is you make sure you write down on your calendar when you're following up. Follow up with Christy. Program it in your phone. And then in 8 weeks, I follow up and I say, Christy, it's Trinity. Just following up. Did you see our new holiday collection? Oh my gosh, we printed 3 million nails and more than half are sold out already. What is keeping you from saying yes? And if she tells me no again, I'll say, that's okay. I'm going to message you in about 6 or 8 more weeks if that's okay. Check on you, see if, there's anything I can do for you and, just check in on you. So just keep checking up on them. The fortunes and the follow-up, that's so true. It's so accurate. Don't lose your list, your people, your funnel people, because, oh my gosh, no does not mean no. It means not right now. And you have to program yourself to be okay with that. So that's what I have tonight. Oh, one more thing. Ask them on a scale of 1 to 10. That is magic. Romy says that in her book. She says, ask people on a scale of 1 to 10, a 1 being not interested, a 5 being, yeah, I think I could do this, and a 10 being, heck yeah, sign me up. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? That gives you a great gauge to see how this conversation should continue. And if they do say no, don't be afraid to say, may I ask why? What's keeping you from saying yes? You see how much fun I'm having. What's keeping you from saying yes? Because sometimes it might be, I don't have the money. And sometimes it might be, I don't have the time. Or sometimes it could be, I'm not a salesperson. And we all know those objections. We have rational comebacks for that. So don't be afraid to say, may I ask why not? So keep the conversation going. Don't let it get awkward. Anyway, I know everyone's wanting to get off of here so they can prepare for the debate tonight. Becca, thank you so much for having me on your brilliant rock star page. You girls are amazing. Keep up what you're doing. Have fun with this. If you're excited, your team's excited. And when we're excited, we have momentum. And momentum means movement. And movement means action. And action means you're going to start making some really good money. And that's always a lot of fun too. Talk to you guys later. Have a great night.